Backwoods Biker again. Got something I want to show you today because I believe it could save your life. You know, I've been asked a lot of times, what's the most important piece of gear that you carry on your bike? Years ago, it used to be a toolkit. And I still say, you know, that's probably true, but the newer bikes don't break down like they used to years ago. But these days, I'm thinking a little bit ahead on this issue because of the simple fact that, you know, through media, different types, whether it's YouTube, it's Facebook, or even just our regular news, we see motorcyclists go down on the ground all the time, and a lot of them do lose their lives. It's either because of immediate impact or because of blood loss while they're there waiting for the first responders to show up. Now, what I have here, I'm hoping you can see this pretty well, is a kit that I put together with North American Rescue just for motorcyclists. I reached out to them, to Chris Hoyne out there. He's one of the experts on staff, and I told him, you know, the motorcyclists, we have head trauma, we've got blood trauma whenever a broken bone happens to come out. It's a compound fracture sticking through the skin, might sever an artery on the way out. What he came up with was this particular bleed control kit. That's what it's for. It's not for boo-boos and bruises and little burns and things like this that might happen. You know, a rock jumps up and kicks you off in the shin, you got a bruise there. It's not for that. This is for emergencies. And there are 10 pieces of equipment that are inside of this small little bag that have a huge impact. You've got a Cat 7 combat tourniquet, you've got emergency trauma dressing, compound compression gauze, you have got high vent chest seals, there's a pack of those. You've got quick clot blood control patches in here, the Z-fold style. You've got a bleed control patch. You've also got nitrile gloves, an awesome emergency blanket, very heavy duty to keep people from going into shock. You have a pair of large shears if you got to cut away clothing, and you also have, well, you got a permanent marker in there. Anytime you put a tourniquet on someone, you have to mark the exact time that it was applied for the first responders to read, and especially those in an emergency room. Now I'm going to talk more about this to you when I get down to the studio. But really, I want you to consider this because when was the last time that you may have went down, or maybe you have a friend that went down, somebody in your group went down? What did you have on your bike to help them survive the situation? Again, the number one cause of death in motorcycle accidents is head trauma. Number 2 is broken bones that become compound and cut an artery somewhere. People bleed out. That is what this kit is designed for. It fits easily in your bag, as you can see. It's very unobtrusive. Lots of room in there. These aren't great big bags either, you know, so it's something that you would invest in for survival of somebody's life. Again, it's not for boo-boos. What's the cost on this thing? They're $89.99 from North American Rescue. It has nothing to do with Backwoods Biker. We are moving in that direction, but right now we want to steer you to them because I feel like every motorcyclist out there should have one of these on their bike, because you never know when you might go down, you never know when you're going to roll up on an accident, you never know whenever somebody in your group is going to have an accident and they need your help to keep them alive. You see, the key thing is that you'll find out about first responders or combat medics. They'll tell you that their number one job is not just to keep you alive, but to keep the blood inside of your body. We don't want that running out because it is truly your life. This is Tony with Backwoods Biker, encouraging you one more time to go out to NorthAmericanRescue.com or call out there and talk to Chris Hoyne. He can steer you in the right direction. It might save your life or save somebody else's life. Until next time, you ride free and you live free. All right, I told you I'd give you some more details on this MFAK, this motorcycle first aid kit. The patch on it says bleed control because that's what it's designed for. This particular pack was put together for us by North American Rescue. I reached out to them, got a hold of Chris Coyne, told him what our concerns were in the biking community, and asked him to help me put together a kit that I could present to all bikers around the world, because every biker ought to have something like this on their motorcycle. The number one cause for death when a motorcycle goes down is head trauma. The second one is blood loss. Could be through a compound fracture that severs an artery. A lot of different things. But in both cases, blood loss, fluid loss is what usually brings a person down to where they don't survive the accident. So if you happen to be on site when it happens, whether it's your bike that goes down, your rider's hurt, or you have to self-rescue yourself, or you come up on an accident, or you have somebody in your group goes down. If you have one of these bleed control kits in your bike, you will probably help save somebody's life. Now, what they're not for boo-boos, they're not for bruises, they're not for a little stick in the eye. They are made to save your life whenever your blood is running out and you need help, okay? So I'm going to take a little bit closer look at this for you here so you can see exactly what's in this little pack. Now when I say little, it's only this big. You see how big my hand is? You know, that's about how big the pack is. All right, so when I open it up, what do we have inside of here? We're going to start with the important things here. Not that they're all important, but these are some real lifesavers. Number one, you've got a Cat 7 combat style tourniquet. It's the same thing that they supply to the military. It's a Cat 7 tourniquet. The reason it is orange and not olive drab or black like the military has is because they do not want visibility whenever they have a wounded soldier. When you're a civilian, you want visibility. You want people to be able to know you're there and what you have wrapped up around you, okay? Now when you put a tourniquet on someone, you also have to mark on there with this permanent marker the exact time that you applied the tourniquet. That is for the first responders and especially for the emergency room personnel. Next thing we're going to look at here is this combat emergency dressing. I think it's, how many yards is this? I can't really see here. It's a 6-inch trauma bandage is what it is. But it's made to help you stop the blood, okay? I'm going to stick these glasses on. I'm not so prideful that I don't wear these peepers here. But this will help stop blood real quick. Next thing is to keep your patient from going into hypothermia or shock. They have a super nice survival wrap blanket that'll help them keep the heat in. They also have a quick clot Z-fold anti-bleeding bandage. It will keep the blood right in the wound, helps to stop it, slow it down. We also have here a set of high-fin vents, all right? These are chest seals. If you get a puncture in the chest, it might go through the front and out the back. That's why they always give them out in twin packs. They're made for really a gunshot wound in combat, but they have the perfect place inside of a MFAK bag as well, motorcycle first aid kit, because you never know. A handlebar might go in the chest. I've seen it happen. Just any piece of metal might run into the chest and the person is having a tough time trying to regulate breathing. A chest seal is going to help out with that. It's going to keep the blood where it belongs. Also in this kit is a some compressed gauze. Nice little package of that. You have a pair of large shears because there are times that you have to cut somebody's clothing away. There's no getting around it. Not all the time, but sometimes you have to. These shears are designed for that. Then of course there's going to be a couple pairs of nitrile gloves that I'm not even going to take out. Now who would be candidates for this? Well, obviously I'm talking to bikers today, but anyone that is around a situation where a loss of blood emergency could happen, that would not only be bikers, but it would be survivalists It would be preppers who are out there, hunters. It would be fishermen, bushcrafters that are out in the bush, people that are homesteading. Anyone that puts themselves in a situation where a loss of blood might happen in an emergency, even if you just cut yourself with a knife. This type of kit is designed to save yours or somebody that's in your party's life. Now, for only $89.99, you get all of this stuff from North American Rescue. I'm going to encourage you to go out there to their website, NorthAmericanRescue.com. Even reach out to Chris Hoyne, who helped us put this together, and tell him that you saw this video, and he'll steer you in the right spot. This is something that ought to be found in every kit. All right? Again, it's not for boo-boos, but it's for saving lives is what it's for. This is Tony with Backwoods Biker. If you like these videos, right down here on your right over here, is the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button if you would, and off to your left, hit the like button, and down below that where it says read more, I'll stick off a description in here where you can go check out this MFAK kit again. Until next time, you be safe out there, ride free, and live free.